Oh, okay, and we live.
Ow.
Ow. Okay, this is a good time for us to check to see if everything is going through because we're all also on Twitch too. I'm gonna see if that's transmitting. Eric is back. Hey.
Ow.
Let me see the chat. Make sure you comment, honey. Give us a comment. Tell us what you think before we get started with the show. I'm just checking if everything is transmitting through all the sides, guys, and we're gonna get right into it. All right. Where's my Twitch app? Like for real? There it is. All right. Channel. Okay, we're transmitting. Let me just share this quickly on my Facebook feed to my regular, because and we should pop right up. Oh, not reverb. Oh my God, that's me. Okay, there we go. All right.
What's up, y'all? It's the world famous.
You're listening to The Darren Green Show.
Right here.
What's up? I am your humble host, Darren Green, back with another episode. I am joined with my co-host, Derek. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
It's going. It's doing pretty well. We surviving here. Oh my goodness, it's looking nice and clear now. We were a little shaky. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are watching this on YouTube or anywhere that you're listening to this. We're on Twitch now. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me at TDGS Media on Instagram and Twitter, of course. And give us a 5-star rating if you are listening to this podcast, on the replay. Also, hit up that Patreon, honey, just for $2. Get ad-free and more features. That link is in the description. It's only $2 a month, guys. We really need the support, honey. Support me, bitch. How you been?
I've been good. No complaints. Just working, filling out my taxes and shit. Just trying to get all my shit together.
Right.
As we move into the next quarter of the year. Enjoying everybody else getting their stimmies while I'm sitting here like.
I know. I got my stimmy, child.
Yes.
Honey. Because let me tell you something. I did not get it last year. I was so mad because, Trump didn't want to give it to dependents, or people that went to college and stuff like that, because that was one of the stipulations. I'm just so glad to get it because, we need money too. We out here starving some people, child. Right. But yeah, I'm just glad I got it. Huh?
Just send us the coin.
Send us the coin. And Joe did exactly what he said he was going to do. And we're happy for it, So yeah. My other thing though, what else happened this week, child? Oh, well, I had spring break.
Oh, yeah, you went home, right?
Yeah. I went home to focus. Huh?
How was it? How was your break?
It was all right. I hung out with my cousins. I hung out, talked to people, see my grandma for I haven't seen her in a minute. Helping out around the house and just not really doing nothing.
Relaxing, chilling
out.
I
feel like when I go home, it's like my place where I can just hide from everyone. Just be in my own, because there's nothing really going on. I don't really go out that much when I'm home. I go out a lot when I'm here and I talk to people a lot. But I just like this. It's slower down there. Almost didn't want to come back, but we got to get to this work. Anything else happen to you? No.
Nothing notable or newsworthy, I don't believe. Not really. Just trying. Oh, I'm also we've already started the planning phases for Newark Pride 2021.
It's going to be
also a new undertaking that I'm going to be the lead producer of this year. So I'm excited about that. It's been years in the making, though. I've been on the board for 5 years. And
was that you that followed the page?
Huh?
Was that you that followed the page? Because Newark Pride followed us. Or followed the Darren Green Show.
Probably.
I was like, okay, I'm being recognized.
I don't know.
You need me to do an event, honey? I can do an event.
Absolutely. So
no, I really want to help out this time. Especially, it's not going to be live. Like, it's going to be like a real on.
It's going to be virtual. It may be hybrid. Like depends on if we're able to go outside. We'll probably have like small, intimate things. But for the most part, we'll probably do a lot of online stuff. A lot of virtual events, interviews, live parties.
Give me an interview. You know, I love asking questions.
Yeah,
you know, I want to help out.
Love to have you on board and throughout that week and stuff like that. I mean, since you're an LGBTQ podcaster, I mean, we've got to make sure that we extend the platform to the people.
I know, and I know I'm from the South, but I do I love being up here. I love the North. You know,
as you should.
As I should. But y'all mean though, child. Let me tell you something. Oh my God, I was about to curse out. Ooh, I was in Newport Mall the other day, and I was on TikTok. Okay, right? Because you know I'm on TikTok now. I do videos or whatever, so I watch people's stuff. And I seen this girl. She said, "Oh, you know, you can get like a real cheap drink from Starbucks. Get like ice water with strawberries in it. It's like 50 cents. It's like infused.
Oh,
I mean, because I used to
do water. Okay.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time when our calf was open. You know, I used to put my strawberries in my water to give it a little strawberry taste or whatever. So I asked for it, and I guess because that mall, whatever, has a lot of people that just don't have the money to buy things, and I guess like just always ask for water. You know how water is free. Yeah, he gonna sit there and be like, "You want a water with strawberries in it?" Like he asked me like 3 times. I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "What you trying to say?" Like, are you trying to say? Like I was
water. It's what humans need. We need water.
not only that, but it's like, honey, if I wanted the coffee, I can get a coffee. Don't do that. No, people. Let me tell you something. It's that mall.
First of all, let's just back up to that shades. You said that mall has a lot of people that ain't got no money to buy nothing.
Oh. There be stragglers in that. I understand, like, you know, there's people coming in there, let me get a water, you know, because they don't want to buy nothing. And I had to ask the girl because the girl was like, "Well, what do you?" I'm like, She looked at her system and seen that actually was a drink. Like it was 50 cents. I was willing to pay it. He was like, "Yeah, he made it a thing." I'm like, "Ugh, child, y'all, honey, if I wanted the coffee, I don't want y'all basic ass coffee. First of all, I'm Team Dunkin'. All right, don't do me." But no, every time I go to that mall, it's always somebody with an attitude. I'm sorry, and I hate to put Newport Mall on blast, but like, I just hate going there sometimes. Oh, you said not Newport. Poor people. I'll be going to the American Dream Mall from now on.
Right. Yes, where the coin is. I want to go to the American Dream so I can go to that amusement park they got in there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
I want to go.
We'll definitely see.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go today, but apparently they going during the Nick and my other friend is going while we're doing the show. But you know, I forgot to tell him that we're live.
Right. Come on in.
Come on in, comment, girl. Here's the thing. We got to get into these hot topics.
Period.
Because you know I like to get right into it. I want to first talk about Candace Owens. Yeah. We gotta get into some things. So Candace Owens have been talking and taking jabs at rapper Cardi B because of a recent Grammys performance, right? The two have been sending each other tweets back and forth. Candace had a lot to say during a news segment with Tucker Carlson. Here's the clip.
Any words about it. They call this great. They say this is fabulous, that this is the stuff that children should be aspiring towards. So at the same time, Tucker, that we have kids that are not learning hard academics anymore in school, right? Forget about mathematics and science. You can trust the science and trust Dr. Fauci, but you have these kids learning about critical race theory. You know, they're learning that they should aspire to people like Cardi B. That you see that fundamentally we are seeing the destruction of American values, American principles. And it's terrifying. I think parents should be terrified that this is the direction that our society is headed towards. And again, we are weakening America. That's really what we should be talking about. This is a weakening of American society. We are setting the stage, and it feels like we are looking at corrosion, like we are about to see the end of an empire. America cannot survive. It cannot be sustained under these sorts of values and principles.
Girl, have several seats. Like, here's my thing. My issue with Candace is I don't like when people always try to use kids as an scapegoat to make a point, because okay, you're saying, oh, the kids, they're looking at this, they're looking at Cardi B, they're looking up to her, and they shouldn't be, and this, that, and the third. We get it. Cardi B is not an age appropriate artist, but she's not a high school teacher. She's not a preschool teacher. You get what I'm saying? And my whole thoughts on this is like, when it comes to like these award shows, I don't know where I heard this from, but it's like they're making money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and there's certain things certain performances that has to happen. And when you look at these artists, I like when someone on Facebook said, well, you know, everyone is coming, because it wasn't just Candace Owens. It was a lot of people that's religious. I've seen a couple of videos talk about the end is coming and Jesus is coming back and this, that, and the third, because Cardi B. Like, she's the only artist that is promotes sex appeal in her music. Someone brought up the fact that nobody said nothing to Dua Lipa. Love Dua Lipa, but honey, she was dancing provocatively too. She had on a 2-piece. She had on a bikini or a onesie or whatever. Like, she was showing ass. Let's be clear. You know, her white counterparts doesn't get the heat that she got. Let's go back a couple years. Gaga, her whole art pop era, and I love Gaga. Like, she did a whole song with R. Kelly singing "Do What You Want with My Body." No one said nothing.
Well, they did, but it was because of the R. Kelly thing and not because of.
Well, they say it now because R. Kelly's canceled, but back this is back when we still was liking R. Kelly. Right. But I wasn't, but they were. But like, you know, so when black people do it now, it's like we have to be the ones. I don't know. You go ahead. What's your thoughts on this? Because, you know,
there were like several points. I mean, that I kind of fundamentally disagree with Candace. And I think that the angle that she takes, because she appeals to a more conservative audience, you know, it's, you know, right on brand for her. My issue is like, okay, well, at the baseline, right? Like, Candace, you want to conserve American values. And, you know, when they start talking about that, they start moralizing things, especially with how people make their money and what the kids are seeing, and, you know, the type of idea that they want for the society. And I feel like there's this Pleasantville type of idea or this cloud in their brain about what they want America to be like. It's supposed to be this like peaceful, quiet, respectable place where everyone's yes ma'am, no ma'am, and, you know, modestly clothed, things that are considered intimate or sexual should be considered private and not for public display. And, you know, all this thing about the evolution of women having autonomy over themselves, having sexual authority over themselves, expressing it in their art forms and being appreciated, respected, and paid for it. You know, so that just ties back to their ideas of like sex and prostitution and how women are looked at. And it's like, okay, well, if we're fighting for women to be respected, how can we do that when women are willing to degrade themselves for the male gaze and make money off of it? It's like being professional strippers and professional prostitutes and all that kind of stuff. So that goes into that type of lane when she's talking about it. But it's like, okay, well, this is the same girl that had a clip on, was it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever? She was going live, her making a sandwich for her white husband while she's barefoot and pregnant, because that's where women should be, in the kitchen making sandwiches. Like, girl, this is not the 1950s. And I feel like you all should like let that go. Like, it's not happening. We're never going back there. Let it go. Like, move on and be okay with moving on. Do what's best for you. Raise your children in the way that you believe that they should model the behavior that you want your children to have. But that has nothing to do with the rest of the world. Like, that has nothing to do with how other people decide to live out their lives and their dreams, and people have the right to do that.
Yeah.
The Cardi performance, it's like, I have my own opinion about the performance and about Cardi as an entertainer, but at the same time, like, if you look at the Grammys, the way that they structured the performances and the way they did the placements, like, after a certain point, your kids should be in bed. And like the only way they're going to see this performance is if they have access to the internet and they're actually seeking and looking for it themselves. Like they're
and that just goes to and that just goes to show when y'all bring up, oh my God, protect the kids. Like, you could try to protect your kids from the world, you cannot protect the world from your kids. They're going to get to it at some point. And my thing is this: I didn't watch a single award show until I was in 9th grade.
Oh wow!
Okay. All right, that's what good parenting is, guys. That's good parenting. Like, so I watched the first time I ever seen Gaga perform "Born This Way," child. I was in 9th grade when I was in 7th grade when it came out. Ended up watching it like 2 years later when I was able to get access to social media and stuff like that, and I had phones that had smartphones. I get it, like, what you want. I get what they're saying, but also like, it's not really. What Cardi did wasn't that like. It wasn't that much that because now they're saying FCC is investigating and now they're looking into like
They got 80 complaints out of that,
and I think it's
8 million people because that watched it. You got 80 complaints. That's okay.
Okay, and then like I think it had something to do with the whole scissoring thing, like that part where they was like scissoring and they twirled over. I think that is what really pissed people off because Candace Owens will say like 2 women thrusting vaginas together, whatever. That's what she made in that tweet, and it's like. It seemed like there's some undertones of homophobia as well, because it was seen by millions of people, and people that I guess watch the award shows with their kids. I never watched award shows with my parents when I was little. Like that was like, boy, if you don't go upstairs, this grown folk, ain't watching that.
Right
now, yeah, but we're in different times, so you have to like kind of buck to it. If you're not into it, then don't show your kids that. Like no one's making your kids watch this shit. You have the control. Until they turn 18, give or take.
Right. You can monitor, but I don't think you can at this point, because we're in the age of information and everything is at the disposal of the internet or at the tip of your fingers. Like, and I also feel like parents now, I won't say they're lazy, but like stop allowing the internet and media to raise your kids. Like, these people get paid to entertain, and people forget that it's a business. Like, this is an entertainment business. It's supposed to be a distraction. The same way that niggas, excuse me, I don't know if I can say that before we get an FCC complaint, but the same way men go to the strip club, same way some of the movies we watched or some of our iconic movies have sex scenes in them. And, that's just a part of life. Like, sexuality is a part of the human experience. And so trying to create this bubble where it's deemed as unacceptable or taboo just kind of makes it harder for like people to develop. I feel like it's a developmental thing, and I get it, trying to protect your kids from certain images and certain messages until they're old enough to understand it and fully comprehend it. I think Candace's fear is like, okay, we have little girls that are watching these women who are scantily clad and are hypersexualized, especially when they're Black women, because that's how our women are looked at anyway. They're looked at as sexual, as sex objects. And these women are being rewarded for pushing that narrative and saying, hey, I can be a sexual being and still be successful, and I'm still worthy of respect. And that's where the disconnect comes, because most conservative people do not believe that sexual exploitation is something that is respectable. So it's a game of respectability politics. And I always think that when you are trying, like, America has this bipolar thing where it's like, we say we're the land of the free and we want people to have freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of speech. But at the same time, we're trying to police how people feel, how people express, how people how people practice their lives. And that's not fair. The second thing is, like I said, this is a business. And one of the American principles is free enterprise. And that means that you're able to make money off of the things that you create. As an entertainer, you're creating visuals, you're creating music, you're creating conversations with your art. And that's what these women have been doing. Cardi B, even though she may not be the best rapper or or whatever. She's very popular. She uses her platform to pull attention to political issues. She's very active in her community, despite the fact that she puts out sexual images. Like, she's able to say, I'm a full human being and capable of doing more than just one thing.
Yeah.
So the zeroing in on this one piece of her as an artist is actually detrimental. And it's like, Candace, you think there are girls aspiring to be you? Like, then you need to focus on being the best version of yourself.
A long time ago, it used to be like that.
Right. And you have to juxtapose yourself versus these other things. Like, just be the best version of yourself without trying to tear these other women down. Yeah. Do I believe there are people who I wouldn't want my kids to model their behavior after? Absolutely. Are there times in my own life I'm like, that's part of me, but I don't know if I would. I don't model that behavior for children. I model that behavior for other free adults, free thinking adults, critical thinking adults, to be able to choose to do whatever they want to do. And by my being free in my creativity or my freedom and the way I use my voice and my platform should be able to allow you to be free with your voice and your platform as well. Yeah. So I think Candace is just really playing the game to play to her base, because that's just part of her job. Like, your job is to keep these people incensed and inflamed about these things. Cardi's job is to entertain people, get their minds, sometimes take their minds away from what's happening in the world. And then when she has your attention, she focuses on things she cares about and gives people an opportunity to create conversations about that. So,
and I knew that conservatives was going to say something about this. I knew Candace probably was going to make a tweet about it. I didn't think she went in. And my thing is, a hit dog a holler, because now she wants to sue Cardi because she made that tweet talking about how, you did a performance where two women's vaginas was thrusting on each other and this, that, and third. Cardi came back, was like, girl, we heard your husband and your brother was flopping in together. Okay. Had the screen. She said, you over here talking about us thrusting vaginas together when your husband and your brother, she said this in a tweet, your husband and your brother was thrusting blank and blank together. Okay. She had a screenshot of a tweet that confirmed, which is now like debunked, and it said that this is like a Photoshop screenshot of hers. But Cardi posted it. She then deleted it because I think now Candace is trying to sue her for it, I guess, for defamation, because you brought up my private family. And hold on, let me see if we got the audio for that. Hold on. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, hold on. Let me share the screen real quick.
Your bestie has scrubbed her Twitter account of false and vulgar tweets about you and your family after you threatened to sue her. Your response to her scrub-a-dub-dub?
I would say that it was not an idle threat. We are suing Cardi B. You will be able to watch this play out in the courtroom. It is unacceptable that any person would use doctored tweets to try to libel and slander my family members, my private family. You
slandered her.
And think that I'm going to take that sitting down. So as I said earlier, by the time I'm through with her, I think I will be an investor in WAP, Laura.
All right.
Girl, bye. You slandered her name. You brought her up. Do not poke the bear. And that's all I got to say about that. When you poke the bear gonna fight back. You get what I'm saying? We all know Cardi likes to go back and forth. She'll get real disrespectful on the social. But I ain't gonna lie, Cardi don't need no more. She don't need no more court cases.
We ain't gonna never get this album.
That's the one thing you don't need, okay? But yeah, right. We ain't never gonna get this album. But like, when you poke the bear, that's what happens. I mean, people been was saying your husband gay. I ain't new knowledge.
What they said.
Honey, let me stop for they sue me, honey.
Hey, we don't make the news. We just report it.
We just reported, okay? Now, come on, Candace. Like, you want to have this fight with her every time. And I think after this situation, if this does go through, and I hope she loses, I hope it doesn't even go nowhere. But Cardi, just don't respond to this girl no more because it seems like she wanted this to happen.
Right. Baited her in,
Mm-hmm.
and you know.
Now I get the piece of the wop. Candace. She's about to get her own show. I think it's like Omarosa better than her though. Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Yes. No, but yeah, no, I respect Omarosa better than her because I feel like Omarosa, I don't think she not that much of a coon though. Like she cooned it. She worked with the, I mean, she was the director of urban outreach. Okay. I mean, it had to be a black person, right? You know,
yeah.
I wouldn't want a white person doing it. But I mean, I think she redeemed herself after she quit. And now she's doing a book trying to call. You know, she's different. She's
Omarosa in 2 years, child.
I don't love Omarosa, but I'm saying I don't share the same dislike that I have against Candace, because Candace, she's real disrespectful. She's self-hating. She's a coon. She's homophobic. She's all the things. Like she's just a horrible person. I can't.
She's just a horrible person.
She's just a horrible individual.
You know, another thing I was looking at last night before I tapped out and went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about this great divide that we're approaching, where free thought is like villainized now. Like, I spoke to earlier in the show about America being bipolar in its values, like how we want to be the nation where we have free thinking people and everyone feels, you know, empowered to think for themselves and to kind of like make it as a civilian by their own means. But we also villainize people who think different than us. And it's like, we can't want it both ways. You can't want to be in a place where diversity is celebrated, and then as soon as people don't agree with you or share the same value set, like we automatically villainize them.
Right.
Now, one thing I probably will never tolerate is when people are actively engaging in warfare against my humanity. So when you are not like, we can't, there's no difference of opinion or let's agree to disagree when you are challenging my humanity.
Okay.
But when it comes to principle and it comes to character, like, do you, as long as it doesn't affect my money or my life. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's kind of sad to some point that now the talking heads are all to two different extremes. And so for the people that are in the middle, it's just like, y'all are arguing about what? Because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. And if Cardi makes her money this way and it's legal, then mind your business and go make your coin how you make your coin.
And that's just that. I can't stress that enough. And it's like, you can have your views on certain things, but it's like at the end of the day, people are going to still do what they're going to have to do. And they're not stopping just because you find it vulgar or you find it like, oh my goodness, we got to hide the kids. Girl, hide your kids. We not marketing to your kids. Okay. We don't care if they watch it. You know what I'm saying? We don't care if we're not trying to target them in any type of way, honey. You're still the big influence of their lives. Okay. So you need to regain that influence. I know we're in different times now. Okay. But like, if your kids is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that's going on with your parenting skills. And I hate to come for parents, but it is what it is.
Right. Be a parent to your kids. Stop letting the internet raise them.
Okay. Stop letting the internet raise them and thinking that these celebrities is going to raise them too. Right. Okay. And we got to move on. Cardi and Rob was getting into it too. That was a little.
I don't follow Cardi, so I gotta figure out what. Oh, I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, we had. But, you said she blocked you.
I don't know, child. You know they love blocking me.
Child, hold on. No.
You know her Raheem? Oh, help us, Lord.
Not help us, Lord. No, but there was some rapper that did a freestyle on Ra's on-site show or whatever, and it was like a freestyle dissing Cardi. Oh my goodness, what the girl was saying. I'm trying to pull it up now. I don't know why I didn't have it ready. Yeah, it's not gonna be here. But she was coming for Cardi. I was like, damn. Hold on. Let me see if I get it. This is the part of the show. I don't know what they beefing over, but apparently they was going back and forth on Twitter. Ra was saying Ra was rah-rah-rahing. Like, she was going back and forth on the tweet saying, oh, you can meet me here, this, that, and the third. Yeah, it's getting there. And then Cardi was like, bet. Like, no. She was like, no. She was like, look, I'm ready. What's up? I'm like, child, come on now. What y'all fighting for? At the end. But Ron Cardi, they always been like lashing out. I don't know why this computer is really pissing me off right now. I'm trying to get the huh? Say it again.
What did she say though? But what did Ron say?
I don't know.
It's about culture, but like, what did she say?
Because and it has to do with this verse that I'm trying to pull up. The girl rapped about culture. She said I guess your daughter nasty or something like that or something. And I guess it was on Ra's show. And I guess they were, because Ra does the news now. And I guess a Cardi topic was brought up, and then that freestyle came up because she had one of her callers do a freestyle dissing Cardi. And I think that's where it came from. Like, it was no media coverage.
I didn't say it. Another rapper said it. Another girl came and said it.
Yeah, but Rob, that she was on that show, like, you ain't had to have her on. Cardi get mad because she get mad at the person that's associated with it. Okay,
like, I didn't say it. She said it.
Yeah, she's okay. No, but for really,
I was Rod Lab, like, not today.
You said not today.
Not today.
She said, you can't. I'm like, oh Lord. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have y'all listen to it. The thread is pulling up. Thank you, computer.
Bitch came in the game disrespecting the great, so I'ma fry this fish cause she took the bait. Okay, so what, bitch? So you got the brand, so I'ma need you to pick up a dictionary. That bitch can't rap, she could barely speak. I'ma piss on this bitch, I'ma take a leak, and I ain't letting up birds, so don't make the peak. And before I get done, she gon' make a tweet. She a grown little baby, no Dominique, and she claim blood, but don't really be in the street. You the same clown, bitch, straight out of the beat. You know, rapping my ass, Atlantic, thought you was next. She lied about her race, I ain't talking relay. This lame hoe was slow, tired, and delayed. Your hubby got a thing for bitches on the pole. You a dummy, special led bitch, go and roll. Acting fake tough, caught you
Ride so messy.
Like 6'9", threw it in your face. How many you got? Like 6'9", raggedy ass, rat face, deflated nostril, broad bitch. The crown will forever be not showed. That flow, those bars that look, it's not shows. And why that girl don't like you? The one that be with Huncho, you really a brat.
Talk about Sweetie.
Out the door, loopy bitch be tripping. I just hope she fall. You a loopy bitch, yeah, you really a loop bear. You get it, haha. Like the name Guadalupe. You see, I put Latin for not that all. You get an F for plagiarism. You fat tongue broad. Should have asked for more brain cells, not in the face. Maybe then your lyricism would elevate. You really drugged and robbed niggas. Could have gave him a heart attack. Crimes for studio time, but you still cut up, your honor. It's about damn you up, bitch, with a sickle rhyme. Every time she drops, she locked lips with bitches. Cause the music is trash.
She just kept on going.
Oh shit, I mean the audio. Cardio, you ain't running shit for straight. Was hot for one summer, but who's the queen now? Same one that was and still is. Damn clown, she $2 hoe was giving lap dances to a 15-year-old without the circumstances. Hey yo, Canela, I didn't tell lies. You was going wild on a fucking child. Is you serious? Hey yo, this what it really is. You got a doctor bopped her way to the top. Ain't talking high school, but bitch is giving mad mop. Sides of her mouth looking mad yuck. I'm in disgust. Ew, she a dirty bitch. Anything goes. So is Culture a dirty kid? Oh, she got a witch.
See, she came for the kids.
My mommy, on my daddy, on my family, or better yet, call me Roach Monkey Fed. Mira aquí, mama huevo. Dale, silencio, puta. Not talking too high.
called Cardi a dirty bitch and asked if Culture is a dirty kid.
Oh my God. I don't condone talk about nobody kids. But I'm sorry, I made a tweet. I was like, if this shit is the equivalent of Keys this, Nicki Minaj. Remember when Keys this? I'm like, this is the modern day Keys this, like for real. Like, cause she came for her neck, like saying you dancing with children, Cardi. Don't let us do no research. Girl.
Yeah.
Allegedly, honey, because we gotta keep it
right. So I can't condone that. Like, don't talk about people's kids.
Right.
Because Culture may end up with a Grammy in the next 3 years. You know, who haven't got one. So y'all just stay off of Culture. The kids, don't bring the kids in. They didn't have no say about coming into this world, being associated with these people.
That shit was crazy. All right, I just want to talk about that.
Right then, Ross should have been like, "Oh, wait,
here we can't."
Right. But that's at the end of the day, like Cardi's an enemy of Ross, so she don't have to go to that lady.
She don't know loyalty exactly. Right. Okay. So
I thought it is what it is in rap game. I thought it is what it is.
Oh, now it is what it is. Nothing is off limits, right?
All fair and rap no more.
Right. Anyway, I want to move on and talk about this person that's been making noise on social media. Lil Mama, aka the voice of the young struggle face. But anyway, let's get into it. So Lil Mama is back at it again after making comments last week about transgender children, okay? Which included a conspiracy theory about depopulation, right? This week she took to Instagram Live where she shared her opinion on kids changing their genders before puberty. Here is what she initially had to say.
Bring the end of
it, because if my niece comes to me and she say, "Auntie, I want to be a boy," and I'm like, "Why, Chinky?" "Oh, because I was watching a show with Sasa and boys are very strong." Because if my niece comes to me and she say, "Auntie, I want to be a boy," and I'm like, "Why, Chinky?" "Oh, because I was watching a show with Sasa and boys are very strong. They know how to shoot basketballs. They win when it comes to like tussling and little fights." And I'm like, "Well, you don't have to be a boy for that." And I can explain these things to her that she may be confused about. But if she's telling me, I think that I am a boy, and she still feels that after she goes through puberty, I'm not going to label her insane. I'm going to listen to her, take heed, and support her. But we're talking about making children feel like they have a choice of changing their genitals before they even go through puberty. You don't even know who you are or what you like. Young women are talking about BBLs and things like that before their breasts and their buttocks are even fully developed. So we have to be very sensitive, mindful when we're dealing with our children. We are not talking about grown people who can make the choice to do and be with Ed because
okay, and it loops. Yeah, here's my thing with that. I just want to just say that at first when I heard that part, because she was on that, it was many other clips. We're not gonna get into it, but when she was talking about how, okay, let me just tell my child to wait until after puberty. Yeah, I mean, like she's saying things that we can't really contest, but like then you go in and then talk about depopulation and how the system is trying to kill people off. They're trying to kill like over 1 billion people because it, and then talking about how there's like something in the water, like there's something in Enfamils and formulas that give the children that's making boys, you know, more feminine and girls more masculine and make them like you go saying something like that and then you turn this to something completely different. Yeah, you're gonna get some backlash for it. And my problem is it's always been like, oh my goodness, like they're gonna cut off at a young age. First of all, seconds to Google to find out that you need to be at least 18 years old. That's considered, sex reassignment is considered cosmetic, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you need to be 18 years of age. There's no consent at all. Like you can't get like, back, you get a nose job at like 15 if your parents consent. No, it's not like that. You need to be 18, period. Okay. It takes 3 seconds to Google, guys. It takes 3 seconds. These kids are not like, we understand. Like you have to grow into your body before you can try to, get the reassignment. But it's just, I can't. Like, it's like people really think that parents are really doing this to their kids. I mean, go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk first.
No, I think that, there were some parts that I agree with Lil Mama as far as like, when it comes to children and their identities. And I think that we do have to, there is some I won't say I have to approach it with white gloves on. With understanding the psychology of children, understanding how impressionable they are. And when you have a child who feels like their gender, and I always say that the conversation about sex, biological sex and gender, there needs to be a conversation first about understanding that they're different. Is that how you decide to show up in the world is a choice that you get to make. And I think that how we look at kids is if they're like these, they don't know anything and they're very green about the world. I think most of the positions when it comes to transgender kids comes from a place of fear when adults address it. Because you understand the world is hard and very critical of people who aren't deemed normal or who don't fall in line with what is considered socially acceptable or doesn't fall into the system of patriarchal white supremacy, which comes with its own respectability politics, which comes with its own threats of, limiting the scope of what is acceptable and humane. And this idea that there are parents out here letting their children chop off their penises or, getting or mutilating their genitals is just so weird to me. But the conversation about mental health when it comes to our kids is something that we all should be having. And it's not, and it's in the same vein of kids who suffer from personality disorders, kids who suffer from depression and anxiety, kids who suffer from, other ailments that makes it hard for them to feel socially accepted or to maneuver.
Right.
I just feel like it's like you said, it's a lack of education. And Mama kind of took it too far. She's like, I'm gonna start a heterosexual rights. Like,
well, she said that after she got backlash from that live stream that she had.
I'm just like, you have your opinion, and that's fine. You can be, but people be loud and wrong, and that's my only thing. Like, why you be loud and wrong? Like, the information is out there and it's available to you. You can have an opinion on a lot of things, but if you're gonna be loud, just be loud and right. Like, be loud and educated and informed. Don't be loud and wrong.
And let's get into let's get into the whole thing when she said that she's gonna start movement because heterosexual people have been getting attacked and bullied on social media for being people are calling them out. It's a lot. I've been on TikTok a lot. There's a lot of people that are calling people out for being homophobic, racist, this and the third, or yada. And now you're making it because, oh my God, like you guys are bullying me. You guys are, oh my God, like because I said my opinion, now I don't have a right to say my opinion. It's the straight fragility for me. It is the straight fragility for me. A hit dog, a holler. I said this earlier on the show. Like, people, you have to understand, like, hacked online and saying, oh my God, I'm not allowed to say my opinion. It's you guys are calling it bully, but my thing is like, when have y'all never had rights? When has never had rights? When have y'all been kicked out of your homes? When have y'all been? I mean, the list goes on. Right. Jumped, bullied, killed. Right. Okay, for being who you are or loving who you want to love. Okay, you never been through that. Called out on social media by a lot of people, and you're getting mad, right. And that's just basically what it is. I mean, what would the meeting be about?
Right.
And people in the comments, that's why I be off Facebook. It's people in the comments saying, well, isn't the LGBT rights, isn't that anti-straight? No.
It's the same conversation they have about reverse racism. Like, homophobia is a real thing. Like, no, nigga. Like, you're making that up in your head and just calling a thing a thing. Me saying that what you're doing is incensing homophobia or transphobia is more to say that you should be careful with your words and the attitudes that you're promoting. Now, you're like I always say, I will protect freedom of speech. You have the right to your opinion about things. However, if what you're doing or saying is putting other people in harm's way, you have to be held accountable and responsible for that. Now, at the same time, Lil Mama has been on the receiving end of transphobic comment. Like even when you introduce this story, you introduced her as Lil Bow Wow, and it's a joke that it's entertaining, it's funny, but it's also transphobic because
my bad.
Well, no, I'm saying because this is a cisgender heterosexual biological female, a woman that when she was younger, when she entered the game, like that was an attack on her, is that people were saying that she was a hermaphrodite or that she was a boy. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
In knowing that, I would have hoped that she would be more of an ally. Like even the old clip when Naomi was on America's Best Dance Crew, and she pointed out, she said, "You were born a man, that is becoming a woman. So if you're going to be a woman, act more like a lady," which spoke to the respectability politics of what does it mean to be a woman. Like there is this ideal of what womanhood is. And if you don't fit that, then you're not woman enough. So she's been problematic, but I just think it was a misstep in her. It's consistent with what she's already done, but sometimes it's just best to just.
It's shush. Like why are people talking about things that they first of all don't understand, and you don't live that experience? Nor are you an ally to it. So what do you have to gain for this? Okay, because we can almost we can see
like you can't handle the discourse. Like it comes off like you can't handle being part of the conversation. So just don't be part of the conversation.
Just don't be a part of it. I can even understand people like to a certain extent. Like I don't fuck with Candace Owens, but like we know why she ticks. Okay, for this shit. Okay, she's getting a check for being this right wing alt-right person. Okay, black person, right? You got on live. You did this shit for free. You're being hateful for free. Like, what did you have to gain for this? Because we all know, I mean, that career is, we know you haven't been doing much. So, I mean, I guess you're clinging to, trying to do outreach groups and talk to people and talk to different hoteps and stuff like that on your live. Like, girl, hush. Don't make no sense. Honey, little mama, she need to go ahead. She need to be working on some music shit. That's what shit. Look, I was a fan back in the day. I heard a little bit of her little discography that she had. You know, was no, but look, I was a fan of her opening her mouth. That's a lot of these celebrities. I'll be a fan of y'all until y'all start opening y'all mouths. Like, if you really don't have nothing at all, and it's at the end of the day, people gonna be who they are. Don't ever try to sit there, because I am offended because you're trying to say that okay, it's because of this, is the reason why you're gay. No, it's because bitch. I'm the reason that I chose this lifestyle that I chose. It's not because that there's some kind of depopulation government they're trying to. They even went as far as to say it's not even. It's affecting everybody. It's affecting whites, blacks, everybody. The government is trying to kill a billion people or some shit like that. You think the government want to really do that shit? I mean, let's really get into it. If it's not like if it's as if they're not like like they're not getting money off of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think they want to like get rid of people? I don't believe that.
Right. It goes against the idea that, okay, well, people who are conservative or do believe that there's depopulation efforts at hand. Like, is it targeted? Like, is there a type of people that they want? Because I always thought that the government, or especially when it comes to conservative values, like they want more babies born. So I get the whole I'm against trans and LGBT stuff because it doesn't lead to population. But at the same time, it's like, anybody stopping you heterosexuals from having babies? So maybe y'all should focus on having y'all's family of 10, 12 kids again. Where's the movement for the straight people to multiply themselves into poverty like there are for other people?
Okay.
I worry about having all these kids. You worried about, depopulation? Well, go make some more babies.
Okay.
And then maybe you can stay at home and make sandwiches for your husband because you're gonna be pregnant. Go repopulate. Mind y'all business and go repopulate. Don't worry about what the gays are doing.
And that's just the thing. Just because y'all put yourselves in a box, I heard that before. I'll be on woke Twitter, honey. It's because y'all put yourselves in a box. Don't try to put us in the box, honey. We're outside of it, and we're gonna stay out of it. We're not going back in. Okay, we're not going nowhere. So I think what we need to do, and I said this on a video I made on TikTok or whatever. I think if we both just y'all stop talking about us, we'll stop coming back. We'll stop clapping back at y'all. Okay. Why don't we just stop the conversation? Because it's not getting any. It's not helping anything. You guys are getting canceled. You guys are, you because Safari done jumped in the conversation. Like he over here talking about something. Oh my God, there's a major or minor in gender and sexuality studies and stuff like that. Like, oh my goodness, the end is coming, and like, what are y'all? How y'all gonna get it? How y'all gonna get work with this degree and this, that, and the third? I'm like, you clearly never went to college, so. I mean, I just
a real job and want to ask about majors in college.
Yeah, right. Got a real job, honey. You lucked up. You lost your entire credibility, child. It's just people just jumping in, and it's just I can't. Just everybody let's just stop talking about it. And we just gonna move on, okay? You do you. I'm gonna do me. Now.
If I heard that correctly, child.
Okay. Her what?
Like Safari?
Yeah, okay. Safari chimed in.
Yeah. Focus on your divorce.
Right. We've seen you get dumped 3 times. Worry about that. Okay. And stop worrying about what people are majoring in, because at the end of the day, and I did interviews, we have that minor. It's a new minor in gender and sexuality studies. And it's an add-on. Like if you're a business major, you have that on your belt. It looks good for, to get it. Oh my goodness, like he's diverse. Like he took classes in queer studies and this, that, and third. Like it's an add-on. Okay. And it's also optional. You don't have to take it. Like people just, it's the lack of education is just so aggravating. But I digress, honey, because we got to move on. Honey. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to talk about Sharon Osbourne now. Sharon, how you feel about her?
Sharon Osbourne. I liked Sharon Osbourne as a personality when I was growing up watching her on TV with Ozzy.
Yeah, cool. What happened to me? Like she did a full 360. It was because this happened during our break. She did a full 360 in the span of 3 days. Like, okay, for those who don't know though, Sharon has for defending her friend Piers Morgan with the whole situation. We all know about Piers Morgan. He said some things in regards to Meghan Markle that were deemed kind of racist or dismissed. And she went super Karen
No.
On her co-host Cheryl Underwood, right? Like they went back and forth, and you know the show is under investigation by the network, and people homophobic slurs. Like she called like one of the Asian co-stars wonton, and the one that I believe is a lesbian, like a fish eater and something like that.
Sarah Gilbert.
Yeah. And she did this interview with Kevin Frazier where she said that she was blindsided about the questions, and you know we made a pact that you know when we talk about certain things beforehand, this that, and the third. Yeah, Frazier all called for Amanda Seals, Sharon Underwood, and like others to like have this conversation, to have this teachable moment. I loved what Amanda Seals said in response because you know she's been very vocal about it.
Right.
She said it's not the responsibility of folks on how to not be trash ass folks. Like it is like it. Oh my God, this is a teachable moment, and we have to learn from this, and we have to tell our sister Osbourne that you know what she said. It wasn't should have already known what the deal was. Okay, you've been on this show for so long,
right?
Oh, but you allowed the floodgates to come out. You allowed that shit because now after this situation, now everybody had their little. Because there was another co-host that used to be on there that said that oh yeah, she thought I was too ghetto.
Holly Robinson Pete.
Yeah, so you allowed this shit to happen. Now you really gonna get fired. Now you really screwed. Like it's over for you, honey. It's over for you.
Sharon Osbourne is an old white lady from Britain, and most British white people don't even believe racism exists. It's just so common to them that you know they act so aloof, and so when they are confronted about supporting racism, whether directly or indirectly, it just kind of throws them off guard. Like she said, she panicked, and she just thought that she was, you know, sticking up for her friend and showing that she supports his freedom of speech, which is fine. I support I support everybody's freedom of speech. However, your freedom of speech doesn't cover, you know, being hateful, libelous, or slanderous to other people. And I think Cheryl's question, or whatever the producers were asking, you know, as far as just they were offering Sharon an opportunity to clarify her support for Piers Morgan, and she reacted in a way that kind of backfired against her, because in her moment of panicking, the issue went from, okay, you're supporting Piers Morgan, to now in that moment you panicking, you told Cheryl Underwood, a Black woman who is asking you to clarify your support of your friend who is being allegedly called to the carpet for being racist against another person. She told her not to cry. How dare you? Don't you dare cry. If anybody should be crying, it's me, which now places her into this space of being, you know, the victim. So it's like that whole like white woman complex where now everybody,
Sharon.
Yeah, you know, now everybody has to focus about your feelings. You've made yourself the center of this moment. And it's just kind of tone deaf. You know, but Cheryl Underwood, she went on her show. She had a podcast over the weekend, and she was kind of like, she's like, I'm at peace. Yeah, she was like, I'm at peace with the conversation. I asked a question. I thought I was talking to a colleague. We're having a conversation. I didn't feel any ways about it. I never called her racist or anything like that. I've never experienced that from her. I just asked her to clarify her support for someone who was being called to the carpet for possibly being a racist, and she reacted in a way that other people now see how aloof she is.
Right. Because girl, first of all, it wasn't even that serious. Nobody was even calling you racist for caping for him. But like, it's like the way you said it. And it's and you know, I can call it sensitive, whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, you came off you came off tone deaf. And to extend to what you said about freedom of speech, like, yes, you have freedom of speech, but you're also not free of consequence when you say it. So you can say what you want.
Right.
What you say, you in trouble.
My mom always told me life is about choices. That's the only that's one thing that doesn't change about being human is that every day of your life, from every 15 seconds, you'll make a new choice, and choices come with rewards and consequences. Every action has an equal yet opposite reaction, and so Sharon just has to deal with the consequences of her actions and the choices that she's made, whether it's supporting peers or whether with her choice of reacting to what was presented to her. And, unfortunately, because of this moment, there were other people who she's encountered who recalled moments where it was like, actually, she was racially insensitive in this moment too, which now just heightens a sense to say, well, maybe you're just racially insensitive. Maybe you don't understand that what you're saying is actually racist, which is why you support Piers Morgan's freedom of speech, because his attack on Meghan Markle may be a personal thing, may not be because she's Black, but it just may be because this woman, ghosted me and ended up marrying a prince. And he may feel some ways about that, and he still feels, jaded. But Sharon Osbourne is a person that is on a large platform, and she's broadcast to a plethora and a diverse set of women. That's their demographic, and you just have to be more careful and conscious of what you're saying.
Yes,
and where you throw your support. If you see somebody being thrown on a cross, I understand it's your friend. Support your friend, but you're also a public personality. You're also someone that's in the forefront. So if you want to put yourself on that cross with them, then you're willingly going to be crucified with them as well. So just take the daggers with pride and go on. And so this could be the end of Sharon Osbourne as a media personality.
So,
it is what it is.
She'll probably join her friend Piers in some kind of alt-right.
Yeah, they can do their own show.
The Wire, which has, what's his name? What's that boy name? Ben Shapiro and, all that other stuff. Right. They have a network called The Wire. That's where Candace Owens having her show. They just hired the girl Gina Carano, the one that got fired from the Star Wars show. She's going to do a show with them. Like, go on your own work. Okay, go on your own little network, have your own little Discord. We just going to continue on with ours. And I hate to say that because I feel like it's dividing us, but like that's what it's really turning into. It's like, y'all do y'all, don't mess with us, just do y'all and we do us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's turned into this, but unfortunately, it seems like we can't play together. Like, when the teacher said, if y'all can't play together, fine. Y'all just going to have to be separated.
Basically.
And that's that on that. Whew. All right. I'm glad we got that out. I got that because let me tell you something. That shit was those three people, Sharon and who else was Lil Mama, they pissed me off this entire week. I was like, I cannot wait to talk about these hoes. Like for real. Like what is going on? Anyway.
Like even in that situation, I think Amanda Seales, I think I watched that video like 3 times of her. And like even calling Kevin Frazier to the carpet for being the one that hosted the interview for Sharon Osbourne. Now Kevin Frazier is someone that I've always looked to as a role model, as a correspondent. Like when I worked at Entertainment Tonight, he was one of the people that, that I looked up to. And I understand that it's his job to kind of like
be neutral.
Yeah, to be neutral and objective. And I think that when you're Black and in the media space, like it can get kind of tricky when it comes to racial issues because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you don't, extend the platform to the right people, sometimes you can get the backlash too. And I just feel like Kevin Frazier tying himself to Sharon Osbourne's side of the story is what's causing the backlash with him from people like Amanda Seales and maybe other Black personalities. When it's like, okay, well, you had an opportunity, you should have did an interview with Cheryl Underwood and the other young lady that's
have an interview with all of them to get
their side before jumping to Sharon to give Sharon the space to share her story. But they're all part of CBS. Like they're all in the same family. Like literally, my internship started there. Like maybe 2 or 3 weeks in, the person I was interning under, Brad Bessie, left. He was the executive producer. He ended up leaving. He was the co-executive producer, supervising producer for Entertainment Tonight. He left to be the executive producer for The Talk. And so they're all part of the same family. So him doing the interview wasn't surprising to me. It was going to be somebody from that network. It could have been Gayle King that did their interview, and it would have been the same. It would have been the same thing.
All right.
Tagging Amanda Seales and tagging other people was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was.
Why did you tag them? You want them to respond, or like what was the point in tagging them to it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But Amanda was right. It's not our responsibility to educate white people on how not to be racist. Like you all created it. You created this system, so you all should know it and learn how to defeat it yourselves. Quit being trash ass people. That's it.
And that's that on that. All right, news and music. Drake debuts at number 1, number 2, and number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean,
you like their hours too, right?
Yes. With a little bit. I didn't like the song with Lil Baby because I felt like it was too. It was. I felt like it was a Lil Baby song because that's like a song that he would do, and I'm not with these little infant rappers. But the Lemon Pepper record and What's Next, I believe those were good. But I really like that Lemon Pepper record because it was just him rapping, like it was just a freestyle, like it was good. And to see it actually chart, 1, 2, and 3, like I was like, oh my god, like he's like, that's Drake. Drake gonna eat.
Right. I mean, it goes to the power of digital. So, I mean, this digital era and social media too, as far as how it really does help a lot of artists propel their music. Because had this come out 10 years ago, this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, with the streaming.
Yeah, if it,
it used to be hard to chart back in the day.
You had to heavily rely on radio play, and you had to rely on like getting folks to actually go and find the music and actually have to purchase the music. But now that streams, like you can get the music for free, listen to it over and over again, and it can count as a record sale just because you pay for a streaming service. But it's a new record for a new era, and kudos to Drake. We'll see how long they stay on top of the charts.
Yeah, you'll peak at one point, and eventually it's gonna
there'll be
fade out.
That'll come out that'll be number 1.
But I also think there wasn't no new music to like kind of contest that because I don't think nobody came out with any recently. We was thinking. I guess the Barty Gang was hoping Up was going to eventually chart at number 1 because it chart by a no-name song. Like it literally, like a song went. That song, I don't even know what that song is. How did you not miss? Cardi was real for you. How did learn something from this? But anyway,
everybody has their time. Everybody has their time.
Yeah, some people got real quick moments, but Drake, he's been able to stay time and it's really good artist that I grew up with. Okay, still be charting and making music because I ain't with this new shit. I'm
right. So maybe it was maybe 6 episodes ago we were talking about like the versatility of artists and how we really can't. You can't really demand that artists change up their flows and their sounds and styles if that's not their choice to do so. But when I think about artists like Drake or Nicki or rappers who have kind of like broken the code on how to be long lasting, you have to go back to artists like Jay-Z, who, if you look at where he started and how he's been able to stay in the game so long, it's like he wasn't afraid to switch up his style. He was always thinking like, okay, well, what are the kids doing now? Because hip hop is, you know, it's like a bullhorn for the youth. It's a bullhorn for what's happening now, and it's also a way for artists to share their own personal stories in a creative way. And even though I feel like Drake's content is like, I'm not interested in following his story as much. Like, I don't feel like I get more insight into him as he releases new music. I applaud him on the fact that he's able to stay current, which only boils down to him being trendy. He's a trendy artist now. Like, there's a new artist that comes out with a different style or a different sound and it's popular. You know that within 6 months, Drake is going to drop a song that sounds like that, or he's going to work with that artist. He's going to support that sound and that movement. And he's been very vocal about things like, I support new artists. I support, you know, them being able to take those risks and playing with different sounds and different styles. And I think that's always going to keep him relevant, because that's something that Jay-Z was able to do. And it makes him, you know, that's what made him a legend. Outside of being creative when it comes to wordplay and invoking himself in his music, the only difference is I just feel like Drake has a boring life, and I'm not interested in him. And I say the same thing about Jay-Z. If Jay-Z had not gotten married to Beyonce, and had they not had marriage troubles, had there not been conflict with him and Kanye, I wouldn't be interested in anything he's rapping about, because it's all about money and partying and being number one. And I don't care about that. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
But congratulations to Drake. And we'll see where Scary Hours lands in the canon of time in the next 10 years, if this is going to be considered one of his greatest works because of the success that it garnered, or it's going to be considered one of his greatest works because of the lyrics.
Now, this was the EP?
Yeah, I think it was the EP. It was only 3. It literally was only 3 songs.
3 songs, yeah. I was about to say, I thought it was going to be 1 song. I thought it was going to be What's Next, but in the 3 songs. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think it's going to ever top like his stuff back in the day, but I definitely feel like it's going to be like, you know, people are going to rock with this in the summer, a couple of summers down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a vibe. It's going to be like, oh, what was that? Oh yeah, that's that Drake Scary Hours.
Right.
Yeah.
You think it's better than Views?
No.
Okay. So we'll leave it there.
No. I think this is just good for the times. Like, I know I'm hype over it or whatever. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, yeah. But no, it would, like I just said, it would just, I don't think it's going to contest with his greats back in the day. Like, it's for Drake to make music like that again, or is that memorable? Because Views was my favorite album. I don't know.
I think every artist has that moment where they make classic music, and then everything else is just like, you know, thank you for coming and thank you for still beating us. But,
thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's kind of how
very Tisha Campbell. I'm still here. Like, sometimes right. I'm still here. Thank you for letting us know that you're still
that's
here.
Kind of how I felt with. That's kind of how I felt with Queen, because Queen, but like, I don't know, Roman Reloaded, even the Pink Print. I mean, just the first 3 albums. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember those more. I remember those music, and I cling to back then. I feel like Queen was just like, you know, like you just said, like, okay, thank you for coming.
Right.
Like, I'm that bitch, and bye. Ain't nobody see me. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I liked Queen. That was a cultural reset. That was a moment. I still listen to the album. It ain't Pink Print, but
yeah, it ain't. First of all, no, it ain't Roman Reloaded. First of all, Roman Reloaded gave you everything. When she started doing pop, then she was still kind of doing rap. Like, it was a happy medium. It was colorful. It just was. It was everything. I loved Roman Reloaded. It was just, and then she came up to Re-Up. Oh my God. It was a moment in can't even say female hip hop because she was like the only one. But like, But like, I don't know. What else is going on in music? What else is going on? Oh, Meg Thee Stallion says record host Grammy award-winning female rapper. Besides Lil Hill. Yeah. We're excited. I'm excited about it. I love Meg. Yeah, I love that she's able to win these awards. And I loved her speech. Like her she was about to make me cry. When the first one when she had Beyonce, oh my God. Like I always wanted. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
It's refreshing to see people see her dreams realized, considering how much she's lost.
And real talent.
Say what?
I said, and real talent wins.
Right. Like, and she's worked really hard. So, not taking away from any of the other girls or anybody else that was in that category. It's just like it feels good to root for her. Like some artists, you like, yeah, I wasn't to win, but like we really determined. Yeah, I mean, but Meg deserves all that. She deserves all the things. I was happy for her when she got Best New Artist or just for winning a Grammy, period. But I'm still kind of sad because I really wanted Doja to get that award.
I wanted Doja to at least get Best New Artist because Doja did her thing.
Doja, during this Cordova 16 Panini, like Doja has served us. Like this bitch flipped Say So 18 different ways. Okay, she shouldn't have walked.
Heavy metal.
Nothing.
She might as well just Say So into a country song.
Say So could have been its own album.
Right. For real.
Definitely could have been a super single. So, but I mean, Meg had that moment. It was Meg's turn. And the Grammys are peer-given awards. So there is some level of politics there. Her being signed to Rock Nation is definitely to her benefit. Because if nothing else, like that's like the firm. Like Rock Nation is they're the administration when it comes to hip hop and R&B for their artists, and so they campaigned for Meg all season, and she did it right. People love her. Our other artists love her, and and that showed at the Grammys. So congratulations to her for that. Hopefully, and we'll just see how long it lasts.
Yes, can't wait for many more songs in the future. You know, like I can't wait for Doja Cat to come out with Planet Her, because that's supposed to be a whole new project. I'm like, come on now, give it to her.
It's gonna be dope.
Oh my God, this Wi-Fi want to start acting up at the end of the damn show. But don't worry, we're in reality check now. So we got a couple more topics to talk about before we leave. Real Housewives of Atlanta. No, because we was watching the Grammys, but I did watch on Monday. Yo, first of all, I want to start with LaToya. She don't know how to play the game. She over here telling Kenya business to Portia and people that, don't really like her like that. Telling her she told them that the boy went to alimony. I'm like, what planet are we in? And then you was pissing off Portia, because it's the nieces and the aunties or whatever. They had a little niece
Shamia's party
get together. I'm like, Shamia's party. I'm like, you can't get along with anybody. Like at the end of the day, you need to be like what Candy used to be. Candy used to be neutral. That's why she could hang out with everybody. I don't know what she is like now. She all up Kenya ass. But you need to be neutral. Hopefully not tell nobody business, girl. I'm telling you, this probably gonna be her last season, girl. We're gonna be going back to you two. Cause you poor girl.
I don't know. I think that even though Toya doesn't have a storyline outside of Kenya, I think that her being kind of put in the middle or like trying to forge relationship with the other side of the girls is not as, because you have to think like she's a new girl and you want to get along with everybody and you want to like find your space in the group. And I started just watching the show because I told you I was committed to just not watching this season at all. Like not watching the season, but I was like, let me just give it a chance.
Drew Tanini.
I kind of started finding a soft spot for Drew. because I like the way that she kind of handles herself in these chaotic situations. You know, I don't care for her husband, and I don't see them lasting too long. Toya, when she brought up Kenya wanting alimony, she did so because she thought that it had already been something discussed in the group because she had that dinner or that lunch with Candy,
right?
And Candy brought it up about the alimony. So Toya was like, "Oh, so y'all know?" You know, she just thought, "I already know that this is what she's going through." So when she brought it, she wasn't bringing it to like, "Oh, this is new information," or "This is a bone I'm carrying." She thought that the girls already knew. So the reaction from the girl or the ladies then was like, "Bitch, we didn't know that. Like, be careful with what you share because she may not have wanted us to know that, especially since her and Portia aren't getting along. We don't know how Portia's gonna carry this, but Portia literally doesn't care about Kenya. She's been shown the whole season like, I'm not giving this girl any energy. I don't care what's going on in her life. She's creating this campaign against me because she's miserable." And you know, so Toya's just in a sticky situation. So seeing what the future standing of her is going to be in the group is going to be something to watch for. And Kenya apparently within the season addresses Toya about this situation, and it causes a conflict. So now it's like, okay, Toya and Kenya have a divide. So now it's going to watch. Is Kenya going to try to ice this girl out of the group now altogether?
Right, because you better start hanging with friend Candy again. I don't know. I feel like, and I hate how it's like you're either you got to be either alt Portia or alt Kenya in this group, and it's like because you see Portia get a little snippy at Marlo for you know piecing shit up with Kenya, and I'm like, well, I mean, and like she ain't telling nobody business. She not like she did that whole hashtag thing. It wasn't me. Everybody was doing that shit. Just because the nieces weren't doing it doesn't mean that I can't participate. Marlo has always been. Marlo was a second one neutral. Like even though she'll talk about you, think when she was definitely with Nene, she was definitely like she was alt Nene, but she was definitely neutral with the other girls. Like it's not like when Portia and King got into it, she was, you know. So at the end of the day, if they got over it, it seemed like once they stopped not liking each other, like you want these girls to hate each other. That's what it's looking like with Portia. And it's like if you don't hate Ken like I do, like I don't know if I want you around me.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get it. But Portia's thing was like, well, on social media, it looks as though Marlo was participating in the campaign that Kenya was leading against Portia by using the hashtag. And Marlo was like, I still have Kenya blocked on social media. In my head, I was like, I don't mean you don't follow other girls. And you know what that it wasn't me hashtag was supposed to be for.
Yeah, okay, you was reading the blogs or you seen
quit playing in my face kind of thing. And if you are going to be neutral, then be neutral.
And why does Marlo have to lie about it? Like she blatantly lied. Like you knew what that was about. Marlo was never like this, honey. I'm like, dang, after Nene left, you done.
Well, Marlo got to fight for her spot now too. So
bend over backwards, child. I can't.
I'm trying to figure out what is Marlo's sub tag now because I used to be Nene's friend. So I think
she's everybody's friend.
I don't know whose friend she is now on the show. It's Kenya's friend.
Remember Dwight?
Right, she's the Dwight of the show. Help me.
He used to always come around. He started coming around. He said, "I owe you $5." It was funny,
right?
Ooh, buddy.
Well, at least we got to see Kenya's. I mean, not Kenya, Lord. We got to see Cynthia's wedding in the last.
Yeah,
episode. She was cute.
Oh, I seen how she got mad at Wendy for because you know Wendy had called her out. She's like, "Oh, you having like 200 people at this party is not safe." I mean, this is like around
a potential super spreader event.
Right. So it was, and you know how Atlanta is. Atlanta was just very much, we don't give a fuck. We are still open.
Did Atlanta ever close?
Okay. So she got mad at that, but I'm like, well, you can't. And King was like, well, you can't get mad. I'm like, Kenya's so two-faced, the girl. I bet you if you wasn't friends with Wendy, because Wendy being friends with you now.
Well, Wendy has to have an end for, sourced information so she can have breaking news. But When you worry about getting her gastrointestinal tract checked,
you heard her
on air.
I'm like, honey, she burped and farted at the same time. What's going on? This is the second time she did that.
If nothing else, Wendy gives us some great little moments. Like if she ain't passing out on air, Wendy's just a mess. Wendy, keep being a mess.
Keep being a mess. Oh, did you watch Married to Medicine?
I did.
Yeah, I just have a couple of things to say about that. I'm so sick of Simone and Jackie. Not really Jackie, but it's really Simone. Like, we get that y'all had a falling out or whatever, but like, I don't know. I just feel like no one can know. We can't. Anytime she's upset about something, she's upset at you or whatever. Like, it's always like, I have to say, you did this to me and nothing else matters. I don't care what you felt. Is that and the third? I can't rebut what what I said is what I said. And it's just like, girl, like, how you expect to have a conversation with somebody? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. She doesn't take accountability for the things that she does too, but she did kind of shaded Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Jackie, with the whole thing with the she said something, but it wasn't in so. And it's like when it was brought back to you, you just don't want to talk about it. No, I'm like, girl, all right, bye. And then Toya.
Well, Toya just over the bullshit, as she said. She's like, y'all gonna make up or not.
You ain't gonna curse me out of my house. I'm like, you can get the hell up out of here.
That was the Patron talking. But it's like, okay, so with Jackie and Simone, because they've had the longest relationship on the show, I think that what Simone wants from Jackie, what Simone is asking for is she wants an apology, and she wants there to be a reestablishment of allegiance to Simone. And Jackie is a very logical person. She wants to remain neutral. She reminds me kind of like of Karen on Real Housewives of Potomac. She's like, listen, there were two parties that were wrong in the situation. I'm not gonna take sides. She's very strong. So Jackie's like, I'm not gonna take sides in this. Both of you were wrong, and I'm interested in being friends with both of you. What Simone wants is that, Jackie, you're my friend. You're supposed to be on my side. And right now, it looks as though you have sided with Dr. Heavenly. And that made her feel some type of way.
Right.
So going forward, Simone is like, well, do I have your allegiance or not? And Jackie is just like, we're either going to get past this or we're not, but you can't force me to be of allegiance to you in this group where I am going to be neutral and try to be friends with all of these girls. So I feel like that's where the disconnect is. And until Simone is able to accept that, then they're not going to be able to move forward with their relationship. Simone would have to relinquish the idea that there's going to be this totality of loyalty from Jackie to her when it comes to Heavenly or any other girls in the group.
Yeah.
So maybe
we hate to see.
Maybe she'll move to that space, but I don't see this dragging out for another 2 seasons. It's going to have to be some resolution, at least between
talk it out.
The reunion. Yeah. But Toya had me rolling. She was drunk, but she was talking real shit. Like, y'all make up. Right. This is some fake ass shit. Like, y'all were able to make up at the reunion, and Simone and Heavily made up. But now we're here, and Simone, you still holding a grudge against Jackie for being friends with Heavenly. But if you friends with Heavenly now, why are you still mad at Simone?
Exactly.
I mean, you're friends with Heavenly now. Why are you still friends? Why are you still mad or holding a grudge with Jackie?
With Jackie, yeah.
That doesn't make fucking sense.
Simone
y'all faked it, or y'all really gonna bury the hatchet and move on? Which one is it?
Try bring Kwa back. I
think Kwa shows up in the next episode.
She does. That's why I love that she's coming back in the next episode and
getting Toya
together. Because I cannot stand Toya. No, she. I mean, yeah, she could be real and stuff like that, but sometimes she could be like really
drunk.
Not really drunk, but no.
Toya be drunk, child.
You be drunk, honey. I'm telling the truth. I'm just saying, y'all bitches is fake, girl. And then that new girl.
I just want to make some swaps. I want Dr. Wendy from Real Housewives of Potomac to be on Married to Medicine, and I want Toya to become a housewife. I want her to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah, we got to switch a root that.
I want that.
Toya on Real Housewives. Now, see, I would like Toya on Real House because she would shake things up. I think her and Kenya would really get into it, though.
Probably.
I think Toya would probably get Kenya together. Possibly. I don't know.
That would be a mess.
That would be a pure D mess. I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. We'll definitely give you the media coverage on it. And I think that's it for this week, honey. We covered a lot of topics today.
All the tea and the coffee.
All the tea and the coffee. And hope you've enjoyed the episode. Hope you've enjoyed the convo. Until next time, I am your host, Darren Green.
I'm Prince Derek Dahl.
And this is the Darren Green Show, signing out. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
If you like what you see, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and give us a 5-star rating. As always, enjoy the convo.
We did it, Joe.
We did it.
You're going to be the president of the United States. Oh, my God.
Sure.
All right. Bye, live. See y'all later.